Hey Aquarius, how are you guys doing? I've got your cards laid out just for the sake of time. And in the background, while I do the reading, you'll be hearing me shuffle the psychic tarot cards for the heart, so we can do your mini love reading at the end. Sorry, I'm not on camera. Not feeling camera ready today. I'll be back on camera for some of the readings, but not today. Just so I can make sure I get this done for you guys. I'm going to try to get through it pretty quickly because I got some dinner going. It's taco night. That's my favorite night. And a few other things going on. So let's go Aquarius. Out of the gate, and if you can't see the cards, then I'll just kind of put them here. And don't judge me. I'm in the middle of taking my gel manicure off, so don't judge me. Anyway, so I can get them redone. Thank you very much. So anyway, to start off, the card that came out in the overall situation, what's kind of going on, the energy that's surrounding you right now is the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles, five is a card of changes. It's a card of some difficulty. You know, it does represent, you know, it's like the middle point of a completed stage. When you hit the 10 card, that's when you're completing a stage and you're moving on to the next stage, phase, or level of something. So the five is like halfway through that. So as you can imagine, you know, when you're halfway through something, sometimes that's when it gets really hard. Sometimes that's when you feel like you want to give up. You feel like, you know, well, where is this going? That's how it can kind of be sometimes when you're at, you know, the 5 point. And with the Five of Pentacles, you can see there are two people on a card. They look a little broken up, a little physically not in the best shape. They're out in the cold, no shoes on their feet. And it really represents a lot of times, at least how I feel that this is playing out right now, is it represents a sense of hopelessness. And it's just feeling like you can't do anything right. You don't know where to turn. You're not sure where to go from here. And just where is life heading you. But on this card, and I always say this with the Five of Pentacles, on a card, there is strength and there is stability where you're at. And that's like I was saying, get into the halfway point with the 5. You've built something. You got through the 1, 2, 3, and 4. And at some point, you did have some stability and things did feel stable. So it's not a time to give up, to turn back, to sort of get like down on yourself and get this feeling of, you know, just a depressed feeling, because as you can see, there are two people on the card. So even though you might be out in the cold, or that's how you feel, that might not be a physical situation. It could be 150 degrees where you live. I mean, out in the cold emotionally and mentally, you just feel like nothing's kind of lining up, and you can't find refuge. You can't find a home. You can't find a place to feel safe. There is somebody else with you, and then stability and refuge is behind you. Even if you feel like it's not there, it is behind you in that card. So, you know, it's and I feel like if those two people would look up and turn around, they would see that there is another way. There are some options, and hope is just around the corner or just a few steps away. And on top of that, another good way I see this card is it means you're not alone. It's not one person. It's a Five of Pentacles card. The 5 Pentacles are on a stained glass window. But at the same time, the two people that represent the people in this card, they are not alone. So, Aquarius, what that is telling me is that you guys may think you're the only one going through certain struggles and things like that, because Aquarius, and I've said this in my videos, I have Aquarius people in my life. Aquariuses are caring, they are giving, and they do care about helping humanity. They do care about seeing people do good and seeing people happy. You know, Aquariuses are like that. But a lot of times it comes from a self-centered point of view. You know, the center of the world is always the I. I feel like Aquarius is a very I sign. So you guys could be thinking you are the only ones going through this. You know, it's just so terrible because it's you. But there is somebody there with you. And if this is not a person in a physical form, it is spirit. It's your a connection of your mind, or is the higher spirit, whatever you call the God force, the universe. You are never alone. And it could also represent your spirit guides, your ancestors. You know, talk to your ancestors that have passed away and call on your spirit guides to help you through these troublesome emotional times. And it may even bleed over into, when I say emotional, it kind of bleeds over because these people are traveling, they look homeless, they don't have a home. This really bleeds over into the home and really finding that love and having that love in the home, Aquarius. And that's what I'm getting from that Five of Pentacles card. So that's the overall situation. Now what crosses that Five of Pentacles cards is the Five of Swords. So Aquarius, a lot of difficult things going on, or just like you think you got something figured out and then wham, you get hit with something else, or you spend time figuring out things just to figure out that what you really figured out is you don't have it figured out at all. And with the Five of Swords being a Swords card, I feel like Aquarius, you are crossing yourself. I do not feel, because you know this guy, he's had a victory, he's had a shallow defeat. You know, he's got his sword in his hand, another sword, and then, well, he's got two swords in his hand, another sword in his other hand, and then there are two on the ground. And whatever people he was fighting or whoever that he's looking at like, you lost, I got you. They are walking away defeated, but they aren't dead, so they're going to come back to fight another day. Which tells me, because it's an air sign card, swords are air, they're mental thoughts, and the sword cuts both ways. It could cut, it could help, and it could save a life, and it could take one as well. So Aquarius, that's what you're doing to yourself, and it isn't anybody else but Aquarius. I feel like, and you know, I feel like the defeats and the battles that you're in, it's shallow wins and shallow losses. It's all shallow. It's not earnest. It's not sincere. It is not the victory of the war. It's the victory of the battle. And it's really not even a victory of the battle, because, I mean, you got all the swords, but you could have wrestled them from the swords. They could have dropped their swords and you took them. You didn't send them away. I mean, now one is a little parsed up. He's got some blood on him and things like that. But they're walking. They aren't even crawling away. I mean, on a 10 of cards, you can see a man with 10 swords in his back. So it represents a struggle, and that is not a win. That is not a win. You are still standing to get through the rest of the issues. There's a lot of things to still deal with. You know, whatever you've done to get to this point, there is more to do. It's no wins, and you know that's what crosses you. Just these swords and this mental energy that you're taking out on yourself. I almost feel like you're playing tricks on yourself, Aquarius. That's how I feel with that Five of Swords card. So then we're gonna move to what's on your mind, what's above you. That's gonna be the Queen of Wands in reverse. Now that's a Wands card. It's fire energy, but you know, air and fire have a lot in common. So your fire signs are going to be your Aries, your Sagittarius, and your Gemini. So that card, of course, represents somebody on your mind who is either that sun, moon, or rising, or they have those traits that you feel like it's just like she's not right. She's not right. She hasn't been treating you right. You guys really haven't been getting along. She is not the person right now that you know her to be. So if this is somebody in your life, I know if a lot of fire signs I know personally right now are going through some changes. So, you know, if it's a friend or something like that, and that's how you feel, maybe you feel out in the cold, like somebody's turning their backs on you, that you care about an actual person in your life. And it doesn't have to be a fire sign. It could just represent somebody with those traits, an older woman who is a queen. You know what I mean? And you just don't feel like shit is right now, or she's coming at you right, or she's being open with you and honest with you, or there's any action being taken to communicate. Like I said, you got that Five of Cards sword. And it's pointing to your future card, which is a Four of Swords for rest. So it's telling me that you don't have your thoughts together. You don't have your thoughts together. You need to take a time out and go back within and really look at things from a holistic perspective, not just from an Aquarius perspective. And to see your shadow side as an Aquarius, you have to be able to see, like, the snicker on this guy's face in this card. It's like it's a victory, but I don't really know if it was an honest win. What did you communicate to get that win? You know what I mean? So Aquarius is maybe look at the shadow side. Try to see some of the shadow elements. Really take some time, and I think that'll help Aquarius in really opening up and bringing in that love and that fulfillment that they want to see in their home, whether it's anything having to do with their security or material life or just being stable emotionally. So getting back to the Queen of Wands, if it isn't a person in your life, then that could be you just feeling like you lost your fire. And I feel like for a lot of Aquarius, it's really you feeling like you lost your fire. I feel like because like I said, fire and air signs have a lot in common. And fire, you guys, fire and air are both active signs. Active signs, air, you're more mental, and fire is going to be more action oriented without necessarily spending all the time on the data, the information, and the mental process. They're definitely going to put more action to it than maybe you would. But you are active. You are active. They're complementary energies. So you're an active person. You get around. You are friendly. 1 second. And I knocked over my water. Sorry, Aquarius. I told you guys I was cooking and it's taco night, so I gotta make sure this is gets done right. And I knocked over my cup of water, so let me just get the ice up and I'll be right back. All right. So let's hop back into it. Aquarius. All right, so with the Queen of Wands, you could just be feeling not your fun, active, helpful self right now. Maybe Aquarius is just feeling like things aren't going how they usually go. You aren't getting the reception from people that you usually get. And that could just be a sign of, if people aren't the same and you're getting different reactions, Aquarius, it warrants to go back within yourself. And I'll tell you, the same thing with me. I'm a different sign, but the same thing with me. When things kind of happen or they don't go my way, I go back within myself to see, let me see if I can really dig into my shadow side. And no, we don't always like to hear certain things and face certain things. But the power of knowing the shadow side, which basically means the negative traits of your makeup, is so that you can harness that, you can own that, and you have the power over it and it not have the power over you. Or else you're just acting and you don't really know what it is that's like, causing a problem or having the situations kind of turn out like they do. And I know, Aquarius are very wise people. They are very smart people. They're a mental sign, very quick. But, if you spend a lot of time being wise and smart and studied, but things, you see a repetition and a pattern in situations, and it warrants you taking a deeper look into yourself. Which brings us to what you have in your arsenal, what you have below you, what's on your side, what you can use, what is with you. And you got the hangman in reverse. And to me, the hangman in reverse is kind of like he has a higher knowing. He is at peace with this situation and whatever happens to him, because he is existing in the mind and the spirit as he hangs on that card. And not that to be hanging like that is a good situation. I mean, if we weren't talking about the interpretation of the tarot card and we were just talking about hangman, like the game Hangman. When you get out, the man is hanged at the end. It's not a good situation, but I always equate this to the saying, they can lock your body, but no one can ever lock or take your mind or your spirit. And that's where he's at. He's at a complete on with the situation. Because the hangman knows of a higher spirituality. And the hangman knows no matter what happens to his physical body, his spirit and his soul is just fine. Because he has a higher connection to the divine. But with the card in reverse, I feel like maybe it means you've been making some crash decisions. You've been doing things, but you have not been thinking. And Aquarius, you are a mental sign. But this is what I'm saying about Aquarius. I think a lot of the thinking is very objective. Very objective. And guys, I swear, I'm the type of person that carries a dictionary with them. Now we got cell phones, we don't have to do that. But you should see, 1 second. Sorry guys, my phone, everything's jumping in. And maybe that's how you've been, just swirls and thoughts with everything jumping in this reading, Aquarius. You just need to slow it down. Too much action, giving a lot of people your time. Aquarius, really, I think you need to go within in June and just dig deeper. But anyway, so when I talk about the hangman in reverse, I feel like, especially because the future card, we're going to get to it, it's saying you need a rest, a mental rest, a physical rest, and a timeout. So 1 second, guys. Text my mind. All right, guys. So let me just turn the ringer on. So I feel like it means you just been moving like the air sign that you are, like air particles, just moving so fast at a fast pace, and not really going deep enough within to be really secure with yourself and the situations in your life. And I feel like with the hangman in reverse like that, it's not having a triplicity of the mind, body, and spirit. It's not having a meeting of the mind, body, and spirit. It's not the mind, body. It's an imbalance. There's an imbalance. And I think the imbalance is with the mind and the spirit. There's not a connection between the three. And that's what the hangman is saying to me, Aquarius, with you. And your past card, what you have in the past, the energy that you're moving away from, is the Seven of Cups. So, Aquarius, with the Seven of Cups straight up, it represents just choices, options, wonderment, awe. You could get lucky, get millions or something. You never know what's in those cups. There are some wonderful, wonderful, magical things, and then there's some evil things. There's some things that might take you out. You don't know what's in those cups. And not knowing what's in the cups just has the guy in awe. He doesn't quite know what to choose. And he is just standing there in wonderment, just wondering, what is this vision? What is this fantasy before me? And I feel like when it's straight up, it does speak of fantasies, illusions, delusions. Could be picking the wrong choices. But in reverse, Aquarius, I think it's really not knowing what the fuck is going on. I think in the past, or it could mean, you thought you made the right choices, and then when you picked the cup, it was the fucking snake. Or it was the devil, or whatever was on the cup. That's what it was. So, it's like, now you just feel like you just made bad choices and it's all upside down. And do you even have the options anymore? Is the magic even still out there for you? That's how you've been feeling, Aquarius. It's just like, Genie, can I have more than 3 wishes? I want a do-over. That's what I'm getting with that card. I'm trying to keep my nails off camera. You guys have never seen me with ratchet nails on camera. I am taking taking my manicure off. I was in the middle. And I do my readings, like, honestly, how I do my readings is I get a feeling. And I'm going to try to, like, get over that and just do readings when I don't have a feeling to get them more frequently for you guys. But when I get a feeling, I do a reading. And I got a feeling in the middle of taking my gel manicure off. And I know if I wait, you guys won't get any reading tonight. So moving on from the past energy, we're going to move forward to the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords energy is the energy of taking a time out, taking a mental and a physical. You see the Four of Swords, swords being the air card, the mental card, and then him laying there. Just he's not dead, you know. And it could even be like a statue on the casket, or it could be a person. But he really needs a mental rest because he feels like people are just stabbing him in the back. There's been some hurtful communication, hurtful messages. I mean, he just has to take a time out from the bullshit, from the world. It is really time to do that, Aquarius. And I saw that in cards before we even got there, especially with that Hangman being reversed, because it's not always congruent from the inside out. So you just it's just time to take some time off and take a rest and take some time out and get your mental thoughts together as well as your physical, so you can bounce back. You have to replenish yourself so that no matter what hurt and pain you go through or what disappointments you have, because I see disappointments in these cards, and I see a lot of the emotions of the and not even necessarily emotions, but I see the Aquarius feeling down and out in the cold. But I don't think it's necessarily that way. I think with you and all of the Swords cards that are coming out, especially because you're an air sign, and not all of the Swords cards. There are 2 Swords cards on the table, but it's quite a bit of swords in both. I mean, you got the 5 and you got the 4. It adds up to 9 swords. So I feel like it's perception with Aquarius. I feel like it's more perception than reality. And if you don't like your reality, then you change your perception. And if you don't like your perception, you got to start with your mind and with your soul, because that's what creates the perception. So moving on to you and how you see yourself as the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Like I said, you're feeling down and out. You know, when it's up, it's a new start. You're getting everything materially. You've got a blessing from the gods to be creative. You got a blessing and opportunities from the gods to be creative, to start new things, to bring forth creative projects, and creative material wealth, creative business ventures. You know, you have that energy with the Ace of Pentacles, but with it in reverse, all of that is in reverse. You feel like you don't have that energy, and that's kind of why, you know, I was saying I felt like the Queen of Wands in reverse was your energy in reverse. And with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it's feeling like you don't feel creative, you don't feel that magic, you don't feel that stability and that fire that you were feeling. You know, and most Aquariuses I know are a very confident sign. And with Aquariuses, to me, I think a lot of them deal with their depressions, and when they're not doing good with escapes, drugs and alcohol and things like that. Because usually when I run into Aquarius, or when I see Aquarius, they are always pleasant. They are always pleasant. And, you know, I had an Aquarius who was close to me, a cousin of mine, you know, tell me, you know, I went through these things and I did this and I did that. I'm not going to get into detail, but I would have never really known that about him. And I don't know if it's just because I was young or because to me, Aquarius is really seen like the picture of confidence, the picture of like swag and confidence and just knowing like they move through life, they make their mistakes, but they're smart. So they study up and they acquire information to transform them into the person they want to be. But Aquarius, you also have to actually take that information and that energy and not just use it on you as far as an outside thing, you know, like a mask, like what you say to people or what you communicate, but actually make sure it's how you live. Like just a little bit about living by rules, principles, and guides, and we all fuck up sometimes. We all stray from the script sometimes. Nobody's perfect. But me personally, you may not give a shit. I'm just telling I do these videos to help people. I don't do them because I like to talk, because I could do a lot of other shit that needs astrology videos. But with me personally, there are certain laws, codes, and standards that you have to live by. And we can say, like I think Drake has a line in one of his songs where he said, you know it's real. He was like, you know it's real when you are who you think you are. Who a lot of people say they are and who they think they are is not who they really are. It is real when you are who you say you are and you are who you think you are. So what I find myself doing a lot of times is living by codes, rules, principles, and guidelines. And it's like a check. It's like a measure. Because I say to myself, okay, this is how I think. This is my thought process. Then here comes the action. Here comes what I want to do. The marriage between my thought process, my morals, and my value system and the actions that I want to do they meet? Do they meet? Does the action perpetuate what I say I am, the rules I live by, and the standards I live by? If the action does not perpetuate what I say I am morally, physically, characteristically, and spiritually, then that's not an action you should take. I fuck up sometimes. I'm not saying I'm perfect all the time, but I think Aquarius could implement that sometimes. And it might help you before you do certain things and open up so wide to people. And Aquarius is a giving sign. You are a giving and caring sign. But it can be overbearing, Aquarius, because I think at the end of the day, a lot of the times the focus is you. The focus is you. You do and you give out of your heart because you're good. It's good to do. But I think you think of your needs over other people's needs all the time. And that's a shadow side of Aquarius from less evolved Aquarius. It does not have to be everybody, but if this reading is resonating with you, then most likely I'm talking about you. So you can kind of see these cards, so I'm not going to move that. You could see this, you could see the Chariot, so then I'll hold up the King of Wands when we get there. So the next card, which represents how other people see you in your environment, is the Three of Cups. So even though you feel all of this way, Aquarius, you don't feel right. Are you masking it with partying, drinking, alcohol, drugs? I just talked about that. I just said, and a lot of times I'll glance at these cards and then the shit just comes, but I don't connect messages until I start talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So I just said, and that was a random thought about Aquarius. I wasn't even thinking about getting to the Three of Cups with alcohol, drinks, drugs, whatever. So with the Three of Cups, it's just represented to me, Aquarius, maybe you got too many people around right now. You need to go into a solitary mode. Nobody else, unless you seek spiritual advice or something like that. Friends and all that, opinions and all of that, no. Aquarius, you are smart enough, strong enough, and capable enough to go within and find out exactly what it is that you need to change, what it is you don't like, and where you kind of want to go from there. Because right now, others kind of see you as the party girl, the person to party. Aquarius is so busy about moving around. She don't care about me. She just out. Friends, drinks, drugs. It's always a third person in your party or in your situation, Aquarius. Maybe it's time to go within yourself. So then the next card we're going to talk about is your hopes and your fears. I'm sorry, my back is killing me today. I can hardly move this card right. Okay, so for your hopes and your fears, you got the Chariot card. Aquarius, what are you scared of? You're scared of being strong? You don't think you're strong? All the things you've been through, Aquarius, you really don't think you're strong. You know you're strong, Aquarius. And maybe that's what you're scared of. Maybe you are scared of really being strong and going in the direction you need to go in and leading the ship in a righteous way. Now, the Chariot card, you know, it represents the Cancer card, which represents the emotions. Which is ruled by the moon, which represents emotion. So, Aquarius, I feel like the work and the fear you have is really in the area of emotions and how you handle and express emotions. And I'll tell you something that I noticed with the signs that aren't water. They have trouble processing emotion. Especially swords suits, air signs. I feel like air signs have more trouble processing emotions than fire and maybe even earth. Maybe even earth. See, fire tries to wear a mask because they're the hero. You can never see them down. They're the child of the zodiac. You can never see them down. But for a lot of people, that mask is see-through. And then earth signs, they're so stubborn, they just hold it in. But again, a lot of times that's see-through. Swords, air signs to me, because you guys are very mental. You are the sign of that. You rule the intellect. You rule the mental capacities, the mental thoughts, anything having to do with mental communications. You rule that. I feel like it's much better hidden with air signs. I feel like it is much better hidden and is so much more repressed. So people don't get that you're really not processing emotions. You're more in thoughts. People don't get that. They think, this is happy-go-lucky Aquarius. They move through life. They take no shit. I mean, they take life, the boat by the sails, and they just live. There's a lot of repressed emotions that I notice that go on with air signs. Because a lot of times, you either don't open up to people from a very deep place. A lot of times, I feel like if you open up, it could be shallow. So I would suggest to really take the reins and drive the emotional ship, Aquarius. And you may not be able to do that until you really go within and see what's going on within you. And really, honestly, look at your shadow side and make some changes. The shadow side to make some changes. And it can't come from anybody else but Aquarius. I know we, as humans, we look to a lot of things in the outside world to give us an understanding of self, more knowledge of how to get through the world, how to have good partnerships, how to make money and things like that. You can use the information, but at the end of the day, you have to put the synapses together. You have to make the connections, make the link, and it really has to form an understanding within you, because everything you need to know, you already know, and it's already within you. It's almost like it was planted there before you were born. But when you're born and you hear somebody say it or you hear it presented, it's like, oh, yeah, that's true. But because you already knew, it strikes a chord. So moving on to the outcome, most likely outcome, a possible outcome for the month of June, Aquarius, is the King of Swords. So, the King of Wands, I'm sorry. And you had the Queen of Wands in reverse. So if these are people, both of you are in reverse. Somebody else has some really energy that matches yours, or this is a male. It could be male or female. It doesn't have to be male, but you got both. So it's either going to be a couple energy that's just giving you hell right now. They ain't doing what they said they were going to do. They're not moving how they said they're going to move. They're not honest. They're no fun. Just bad energies in your life, which may be bringing you down, which may be why you need to take a time out from people. And if it's not those people, then it's the energy of, I feel like you're going to get stronger. You are going to realize some things. You're going to get a stronger energy, Aquarius. But is that necessarily what you want? I didn't say get a stronger energy or a stronger knowledge. I said get a deeper one. So don't go from the Queen of Wands in reverse to the King of Wands in reverse. It's some different traits. Don't go all hard on your feelings, hard on your emotions, and hard on society, but quick to move and act because of what you've been through. Don't do that. It is more spiritual work and mental work to be done, Aquarius, if you're coming out with the King of Wands in reverse for your outcome. And, to be really honest, and I'm going to tell you why, for facts, this is a lot of your own mental doing and perception, Aquarius. You got one major arcana card, and I'm going to say you got two because of the energy on the bottom of the deck. It's 11 cards on the table. 9 cards are minor arcana, which tells me, I'm sorry, you got 3. I forgot the Hangman. So 8 cards on the table are minor arcana, which shows me there's nothing that can't be changed. There's nothing going on really that you don't have control over or you can't take control over, because even the major arcana cards you have is nothing. There's no unexpected energies. There's nothing that came out of the blue like boom, bow, pow. All this shit has already been there, buried deep inside you and not dealt with. So moving on to the Fool in reverse. The Fool in reverse, like I said, it just ties into everything else. This is the overall energy, and it definitely ties into that Queen of Wands in reverse, that King in reverse, and that 5 of Pentacles card that started out with the energy. The Fool in reverse, you just don't feel happy-go-lucky. You don't feel the world is your oyster anymore. You don't feel like this carefree person on a new journey, so happy and love, so happy just to be here on this planet. You're not feeling like that right now. You're feeling like nobody's with you in reverse. You can't even see the little spirit dog that's down there with you trying to tell you, go ahead, Be happy-go-lucky because your time is coming, your joy is coming. You can't even see that because you just got your head in the clouds and just not feeling pretty good from some things you've been through. But just breathe. Every day on this earth, every day that you live is another opportunity to change things, to make things better. If whatever you've been through is because something better is coming. Something better is coming. And Aquarius, I know, they are wonderful people, especially if you meet a selfless Aquarius or Aquarius that isn't completely or at least 70% or better consumed with the self, or being selfish. Just it's all about the Aquarius. When you find an Aquarius is not like that is a really well balanced Aquarius, I'm telling you, they are great people. I love Aquarius. They are sweet. They will do for you, and I tend to get along with Aquarius men really, really well. So they are great people. They will do for you. They will. They are funny. They are funny as hell. Aquariuses are funny people. So definitely a sign with good heart, good people. But just go within and see how you can expand your thoughts to include other people and see some views from a subjective viewpoint. And I always, like I was saying about the dictionary, I look the words up like every other week. I swear I have no reason to lie to you guys. Objective and subjective, and I can never remember which one is which. I can never remember which one is looking from things from your own perspective versus stepping outside of yourself and kind of seeing things from a broader perspective. I believe objective is when you're only seeing it from your point of view, and subjective is when you can step out and see things from, you can put yourself in another person's shoes, or you can see things from a broader perspective. And if that's not it, just reverse it. But whatever it is, I think Aquarius is the challenge is to go in, take a rest, take a time out, really get the thoughts and the spirit lined up so that it can come out in the action. So that your actions won't be in a reverse mode like the king and queen were. Because when you're in a reverse mode, you're attracting people that's in a reverse mode like the king and queen did. They both came out in reverse. So, that reverse energy isn't good for anybody. So with that being said, just going to keep my nails off. Just going to cut the cards and let's lay them down and do past, present, future, overall energy, or however I read it. And I don't read them in reverse. Joy and stability is in the past position. Lead is in the beginning. In the present. Manifest is in the outcome. You got 2 4s and a 1, 5. You had a 5 stage, Aquarius. You thought you was there, but you're not there. You're not even at the finish line. You are dead ass in the middle. And awaiting results. Awesome. The number 7. So joy and stability. You felt like I said with that 7 of Cups in reverse, you felt like you had some choices, and you were all happy with what you picked. You felt stable. You had been doing. 4s are spiritual cards. It's the spiritual card. 4 spirit, red is action, green is emotion. There's chakra cards, and then the black is like the like major arcana cards, major energies. I forgot what they call the black ones. I don't know how I forgot that quick. For 1 sec, I'll tell you what the black is. Black is the major arcana. So they're the major arcana, and then so black is the major arcana, and then the other ones, the indigo was the thoughts, the purple is the action. Sorry, purple is the spirit, red is the action, green is the emotion, and then the black is the major arcana. So, with the joy and stability in a past position, you guys, you were feeling that way. You were feeling like you were making ground. And like I said in your other reading, now all of a sudden it feels like it's out in the cold. I feel like with this present card being lead, I feel like you need a leader. Like, you see this person, I don't feel like it's telling you to lead. I feel like you need some guidance. This person to me looks, it's a king or someone similar to like a pope or something like that. And you see it's like a shadow of him in the back. What did I say, Aquarius? Work on your fucking shadow side. Two readings I'm getting from this card. 2 messages for spirit I'm getting from this card. 1, look higher spiritual and mental growth. Number one. Number two, you can't lead if you haven't dealt with the shadow side. You haven't dealt with the shadow side because he's back there. He's back there. And it's almost like saying, this is the persona you put on for people, but is that who you really are? You have to know your negatives and be okay with them to manifest the powers of the good and the bad, because we are all dualistic creatures, dualistic characters. We are male and female. So we are androgynous. It isn't manifesting right now in a physical form because we have evolved as human beings, but we are male and female energy. We are androgynous. We do have a light side and a dark side, a good and an evil, the God concept and the devil concept. So you have to deal with the shadow in order to lead, in order for people to really see you having that power. That I know Aquarius has got it, because I see it manifested in Aquarius in other areas, whether they use it for sex or they use it for popularity or for looks. I see Aquarius manifest the power many times, or for charm. They say Libra is the charmer or the zodiac, but at least for males and females, that Aquarius, and actually that charm is across all the air signs. That is the characteristics I'm going to use for the air signs, charmers, because they are. So I have seen Aquarius use that powerful energy for many things. But is that where that you wanted to get you? So then, like, kind of for your outcome, the future card is manifest. Do all the shit we talked about, then bring it into manifestation. You can't manifest anything that you have not worked on, you have not cooked, you have not incubated, you have not simmered in the pan for hours and days and months and years. Then you manifest. And manifestation goes back to when I said, are you what you think you are? Are you who you say you are? Because if something's going on in the mental and the spiritual, but what you manifest is some other shit, then no, there's no alignment of the mental, the spiritual, and the physical. And a lot of us aren't 100% there. And I can vouch for one and say I'm not. You know, it's everyday work, which is why we do these tarot readings and why we come to see these readings. So the overall card, the overall energy of this mini, and this is a mini love reading, and this is really not speaking to any partners, Aquarius. This is all about you. It is not about anybody else but Aquarius. And the overall energy, which is 7, which can definitely tie into 5, but I'm not. We almost have 45 minutes, and I want to end this, so I'm not going to go that far. You can look up the numbers 5 and 7 and any connections and things like that if you want to see what those numbers mean. But I definitely suggest you taking the 5 away from this reading. This was heavy, and the 5s to me is a 5 reading. And I'm just going to tell you really quick from the Numbers and You, a numerology guide for everyday living by Lloyd Strayhorn. The 5 represents the number 5. The positive energies of 5 is versatility. You are literary, curious, spontaneous, and freedom loving. That is so in Aquarius. The negative, the shadow side of the number 5 is self-indulgence related to sex. You're irritable and you are abusive. Aquarius, take that from this reading. I just told you your shadow side. Those are associated with the number 5, whether we are talking about Aquarius or not. But they came out in this reading because it's talking about you. It's talking about you. Connections, commitments, and bonds that you share with people have to be deeper than sex. And you do have the capability to mentally manipulate and abuse people. Aquarius is a sign. And believe me, I'm a Cancer. I know I've heard it many times about my sign. Aquarius is a sign that I do say can be a bully sign. And it's not necessarily a bully as it goes around fucking with people. More so if you mess with it or you take it off, or you just do something that's not on the list of shit Aquarius is like, then you're going to see that sword just really come for your head. So that's what the number 5 represents. And let's just do the number 7 since we're here, because I believe that manifestation is powerful. So let's see what the number 7 is. Since we're here, the positive qualities of 7 is you are intuitive, Aquarius. You're refined, you're secretive, yes you are. You're philosophical, and you're probing. Aries Aquarius is like information. If you like to ask questions, they like to get an understanding in their intuitive self because they are intuitive and they take that information and they make deeper connections. But the negative sides of the number 7 are sarcastic. You can be a recluse. There can be no depth. Like we talked about with the number 5, self-indulgence related to sex and just you being surface. You got to be deep. If you say you're deep, you have to really show actions that you're deep, Aquarius. It's more than a facade. It's more than a show. A lot of times I find with air signs, a lot of things are for show. Now, this is general, and I do not want to seem like I'm like pouncing on the Aquarius, but I understand Aquarius. I understand, and I want you to overcome because you don't have to keep struggling like that. You don't. But I find like a lot of things with air signs are vain and they are surface. A lot of times air signs don't go but so deep, depending on what else is in your chart. And let me take it back because I don't want to say that. Some air signs can be very, very deep, but a lot of what they show, a lot of how the actions come out is surface. You know, they keep that other stuff buried, like this says secretive and a recluse. But on the outside, it's like a different story. So you gotta be who you say you are. You gotta be who you think you are. You know what I mean? Otherwise, that's only you that think it, but nobody else did because you don't show it. So with the awaiting results, after you do all of that, you wanna let things come to you, Aquarius. Don't be so quick to go out and seek them, but let them come to you because you are divine. You are divine. Do you see these branches of knowledge and wisdom and fruitfulness come up? So you don't have to live by society. Aquarius sets out and makes their own rules. You don't have to live by society's norms and society's rules. Go very deep within yourself to find those roots and those branches that are going to help you understand who you are mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, and then just stay grounded in that and see the results come to you. You don't have to chase them. You don't have to chase them or force things to be. You know, when you're on your square and you're standing from a powerful center, things that are meant for you, that are righteous and beautiful and of light and that are good will come to you because that is what the energy you are radiating outside. That is your aura. So I thank you so much, Aquarius. I hope this video really helped you guys. You can leave your questions or comments below. You know, any feedback, negative or positive. You know, if it's too negative, I'll just delete your ass. So it's nothing. You know what I mean? You can write whatever you guys want down under the comments. And, you know, visit my website, www.astrotarot, C is in the ocean, SEA.weebly.com if you're interested in any readings, purchasing any products, and helping allow me to do this for you guys on a full-time basis. Like I said, or if you have any questions, I think my email thing is working on the website. I'll check it, but you can get to me through there as well. And if you're not there, just contact me through YouTube, send me a message, comment, or, you know, all of that good stuff. And I thank you so much, Aquarius, for being with me. I'm going to go finish taking this gel off my nails so I can get them done. Alrighty. Love you guys. I wish you nothing but the best, Aquarius, and you have the power to do whatever it is you want to do. You are a super strong sign and very smart to boot. Have a great one. Love you guys.